Welcome back to our world. At the newsstand in the summer of '69, the big general interest picture magazines were still thriving. Life and Look reached about 8 million homes a week. Look was 50 cents a copy on the newsstand. Raunchy novels were in. The Love Machine and Portnoy's Complaint topped the bestseller list.
Honky Tonk Woman by the Rolling Stones was on all the jukeboxes, and movies were rushing to push sex and violence to new boundaries. But the top box office grosser the week ending July 9th was sexy in name only. A Volkswagen had the title role. The Love Bug was a car.
Compared to the liberty of books and movies, TV was a case of arrested development. Risque humor was for saloons, not living rooms. And satire, if it got too sassy with the received wisdom of the government, was a no-no. One of the most popular entertainment shows was missing for the first time that summer, the Smothers Brothers.
We were fired in 1969. That's why I remember the date. Some of you are old enough? Okay.
And we look back on the whole thing being thrown off the air, and kind of emotionally it was pretty tough. But
we were angry at the time.
Angry at the time.
Not now. We look back.
I am more mature. I look at things in a different light, the same conviction, same viewpoint, but there's a soft edge to it. And I look back on that whole thing back there over 15, 18 years ago, and I look back at the whole thing now, and I'm still pissed off. But I'm cool.
So you're cool.
Now, Ho Chi Minh sure ain't no friend that's playing for all to see.
And I know someone's got a fight over there, but why does it have to be me?
So I wish you well, Sarge. Give 'em heck. I'm bound for Canada, you know.
And if you ever get a war without blood and gore, boy, I'll be the first to go.
Now this is the kind of material that did them in.
Only 18, I got a rough feet and I always carry a purse. I got eyes like a bat and my feet are flat and my asthma's getting worse. Oh, and I think of my career and my sweetheart dear and my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm going to school and I'm working in a defense plant. Make love, not war.
Once you get people hooked on satirical or witty or creative bits or content, you can't wean them off of it, because that's the reason they're there. And they didn't realize that. I said, once you got everybody interested, and it's controversial. I said, boy, it's controversial and it's a hit now. Now you could just have everybody agree with you.
We'd like to be controversial, but don't upset anybody.
Don't upset them.
We couldn't figure that one out.
Couldn't do it.
Melons.
Most TV shows had to submit their scripts to a censor. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In had a live-in censor, and Dick Martin played games with him.
So we used to throw double jokes at him, knowing they were going to stop the second one. I remember Goldie Hawn and I were standing on a cruise ship, and Dan was a captain. And he said, "Did you enjoy your trip?" And we said, "Oh, yes, we did." He said, "Well, you know, it's tradition here on the islands. When you leave the islands, you throw your lay overboard." And I immediately picked Goldie up and threw her over the side of the boat. But they say, "You can't do that." Well, we knew we couldn't do that, but we got the other one through.
Make someone happy tonight, pick up a phone.
I make someone happy every night, and I don't pick up any phones.
I don't want to hear about it.
Direct dial Dick, they call me.
There was one more hit TV series that summer, earthy in a more literal way. Hee Haw, a down-home version of Laugh-In, showed up #1 in the ratings. Its only reference to the moonshot, though, is a crescent-shaped opening in an outhouse door. Movie magazines wondered why Eddie Fisher was divorcing Connie Stevens. I missed that issue.
So did I. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis turned 40. Her husband's birthday gift, reportedly a 40-carat diamond. It was the summer GE advertised that nuclear power would soon do away with America's smokestacks. And Ethiopian Airlines advertised with the slogan, "East Africa, it swings." Ho Chi Minh, president of North Vietnam since 1954, died. But the death most Americans remember from that summer had nothing to do with war. Nothing at all.
Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, had requested that her mother's funeral be held in as dignified a manner as possible. Apparently, she's getting her wish. Some of the thousands of people who came today have been standing on line for hours, but they were quiet, orderly, respectful. They moved slowly into the funeral home and into the chapel where the body of Judy Garland lay in a glass-topped casket. She was wearing a long gray silk dress, the same one she wore a little over 3 months ago when she was married. Her only jewelry, a plain gold wedding band.
She was one of the funniest, most optimistic, brightest people that I've ever known. And anybody you talk to who knew her will tell you that.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Judy Garland's music remains with us. And in the summer of '69, we actually were able to look up and over, way over the rainbow, all the way to the moon, courtesy of television.
Hey, sequence, camera coming on.
NBC scored a beat by announcing it would cancel nearly $2 million of regular programming to cover 30 hours of moon landing. ABC and CBS quickly followed. The show would be beamed to the U.S., Europe, and Asia, but not to Africa because, they said, there weren't enough TV sets in Africa to make it worthwhile. Concerning TV, the astronauts were told, there will be 1 billion people watching, so don't screw it up, okay? Back on the ground, Chris Kraft felt his people were ready for the challenge.
The best in the country wanted to come here, and they wanted to commit themselves to getting that job done.
How are you looking? Your systems go?
The average age of my organization in 1968 and 69 was 26 years old.
One of those whiz kids would become an inside hero, flight controller Steve Bales.
We started at 7 that morning, and this room, the tension, you could have cut it with a knife at 7, and it just built up from there.
Okay, all flight controllers, 30 seconds to next go, no go.
Just as we started the landing, we had a speed error, and although I sat there for 2 minutes, scared to death that the deviation would continue and we would have to abort, it didn't.
Okay, retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go.
About 30 seconds after that, the crew said, 1201 program alarm. And now here's another problem. Almost made me mad. I was scared and mad and everything else at the same time. But things were going so fast, it was like driving a car in a race. You know, you just had to make a judgment fairly quickly.
He knew that the situation at that moment depended on him.
And I said, go on with that alarm as loud as I possibly could. I don't even think they needed an air-to-ground uplink to hear me.
We're going that flight. We're going that alarm. Roger, we got you. We're going that alarm. He's taking in his updates now. Roger.
We thought maybe the thing was turning to worms near the end of the descent there, and he made us feel like, well, hold on, guys. Everything is fine. I got it, and it's super. Just depend on me. And we did, and we knew he'd do it, and by God, he did.
Okay, all flight controllers, go for landing. Retro, go. Fido, go. Guidance, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for landing. Eagle Houston, you're go for landing, over. Roger, understand, go for landing, 3,000 feet. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. APA at a descent. Mode control, both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in. We've had shutdown. We copy it down, Eagle. Okay, everybody, T1, stand by for T1. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Looking good here. That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind. Which will live in history as long as man is on this planet and on the other planets. 38-year-old civilian Neil Alden Armstrong.
In Britain today, as in most of Europe, there's only one story, the landing of Apollo 11.